competing tonight. I know a lot of people are upset about where I'm at on the card for whatever reason, but I'm just excited and going to go put on the best performance of my career thus far this Saturday.
During the UFC 300 press conference, fans booed Bo Nickal, and it's not difficult or hard to understand why. Fans, MMA fans, UFC fans feel as though the UFC is forcing us to accept Bo Nickal as the superstar because they keep putting him in this prestigious spot that us fans feel belong to more established, more deserving fighters. You have Bo Nickal in the last 2 years opening the main card of the two biggest pay-per-views over the last 2 years. He opened the pay-per-view of the return of Jon Jones, and now he's opening the UFC 300 pay-per-view. A lot of fans feel that this is unjustified and the UFC is essentially putting the corporate machine behind Bo Nickal, trying to convince us that he is the savior of the middleweight division. He is the next Jon Jones. Now listen, this could all possibly be true. The only issue here is that the UFC is not letting it build organically. And fans might think that this is a recent phenomenon, but no. This began during the Dana White Contender Series, where everyone saw that Bo Nickal deserved a contract, but the UFC said, and Dana White said, no, we still want to evaluate him and we want to test him, so he'll come back next week and he will compete during the Dana White Contender Series final. And this was done not because the UFC felt as though Bo Nickal was not ready. It was done so that they could boost the ratings of the Dana White Contender Series during the finale. They wanted to get those ratings. They wanted us fans to come back to the Dana White Contender Series and watch it because they did not have a star as established as Bo Nickal, and they were like, hang on here, we might have something. That was fine then. The issue is that they have now taken this blueprint and they have put it across Bo Nickal's career, which is Bo Nickal is now essentially a pay-per-view fighter. He only fights on pay-per-views. Now, you may say that, okay, this would be justified if he was fighting a more popular or a more known name. It still wouldn't, but we would be able to understand their reasoning behind it. Maybe this LeBron James of MMA fighting Khamzat Chimaev, for example. That would definitely be pay-per-view worthy. The issue here is that Bo Nickal is fighting bums. He is fighting people who we do not know, people who are not even in the top 20 of the middleweight division of the UFC rankings. He is fighting these people so that it's made to believe to the casual watching fans that Bo Nickal is this absolutely devastating and extremely scary MMA fighter that will walk through anyone in the first round. And personally, the issue I have with this is that Dana White has continuously come out and said that the UFC is unlike boxing. The best fight the best. There is no padding of records here. There is none of that. Here you come and you earn your zero. If you are Shavkat Rakhmonov, who is undefeated, it's because you fought killers and those killers couldn't get through you. But it seems as though since Bo Nickal has made his debut, we have been getting the boxing approach with him. They are feeding him a lot of bums, a lot of unknown fighters for the benefit of his resume, for the benefit of making him seem like this killer, for padding up his wins. It makes no sense. And the worst part is that we are witnessing this padding on some of the most prestigious cards and pay-per-views that would benefit more established fighters who have worked, clawed, crawled, climbed the mountain to get to the top and to get some appreciation from the fans. You look at Aljamain Sterling, prior to his knockout to Sean O'Malley, a lot of the MMA fans were starting to appreciate him. You look at fighters like Cody Garbrandt, you look at Davison Figueiredo, you look at Rakic, you look at Prochaska. These are all well-established fighters, most of whom are prior champions, and they are all prelim fighters to Bo Nickal. As much as people like Ariel Helwani might say, you're getting more views in the prelims because more people are going to watch it, etc., 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 and the bonuses stay the same, your pay doesn't go up. It's still the thought behind it. There is a sense of prestige that we look at the main card with compared to the prelims. A lot of people only come for the main card. Yes, with UFC 300 it might be different because people will be like, no, from the early prelims up to the end of the prelims, it is banger after banger. But there's still that respect and prestige that is put on being on the main card of an established and big pay-per-view. And as much as the UFC wants to convince us that Bo is the superstar that we should be paying top dollar for, the only problem is you have to let it happen organically. Do not force it down the throat of fans. No one ever forced it upon us that Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time. No one forced it upon us that LeBron James is the best basketball player of this generation. It organically happened. They let their skills show out. No one told us that Conor McGregor is the next big star. We got to witness it. No one told us that Jon Jones would go on to be one of the best. We got to see it. George St. Pierre, we got to witness it and see it. And then they became superstars. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Till the next one, peace.